Welcome back to my official YouTube channel. This is Gaurav Ayaan, and welcome back to my podcast. Today the discussion will be around India versus England series, and we will have some of the discussion during that time that we will have some discussion on IPL also. The what you call the retention policy. The new players have joined through the different teams, so we will have this discussion on that also. So I have been joined by none other than everybody knows him. He is very famous on Twitter. He's very famous on social media. Cricket Crazy Jones. Welcome back to my show, brother.
First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me into the show. It's a pleasure to talk with you. Hopefully, we have another great chat. At this
I think Jones is facing some of the internet issues. Jones, are you Lucas? I think Jones is facing some of the
yes,
internet issues,
yes,
right?
Yeah, yes.
yes, I can
There's
hear.
someone else. Okay, he can hear.
Yeah.
Yes, I can
So
hear.
how
Oh,
are you, Jones? Yeah. So how are you, Jones?
First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me into this podcast. It's a pleasure to talk cricket with you. We have talked a few times last month as well during the World Test Championship. So, looking forward to the chat as well.
love having you on, Benny.
Okay.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
Yes,
Lucas.
great.
Lucas has also joined us all the way from Australia during this timing issues, but he has joined us again. So, guys, we'll have this discussion on India and England series first. Johns, you have seen the third Test match. We'll have this discussion on the India versus England. Don't you think what happened on the third Test match? We have lost on the first day.
Yes, if you look at for a third Test match, it was one of the off days for Indian Test cricket in recent times. We have seen one in
Yes.
Adelaide Test match during the pink ball versus Australia. So it happens to any team. I don't think we need to look at much deeper. It's a failure of whole batting unit. Bowlers did a good job.
Yes.
If you look at that second day and third day as well, it was not an easy condition to for bowlers, but they did so well. So there are positives to take. And Rohit Sharma played really well in this Test match. The issue has been the middle order, especially Ajinkya Rahane's form. Even Virat, if you look at Virat Kohli, he hasn't played much Test matches, and he has scored few as well. If you look at that Adelaide Test match, he has scored a 50. Then in the second innings versus England at home conditions, he scored couple of 50s. So he has been getting that start. It's just a matter of time to convert into big hundreds. And Pujara has come really good in last two matches, so it's a good sign for India
Yes.
moving forward into the next two Test matches and South Africa series as well. The issue has been Rahana, especially if you look at in every series, apart from few matches, he will score one match, then he will be going to that inconsistency. Since 2016,
Yes.
it has been the big issue for Rahana. So India need to look at those aspects moving forward. Then Rishabh Pant has been a slight worry, but still, it's just three matches. We have seen what Rishabh Pant has done well in Australia and in the England home series in Chepauk, etc. So everyone will be coming. I really hope India come back. It won't be easy, especially Chris Wokes will be coming back. So their bowling unit will be really good. If you look at Anderson, will be there, Oli Robinson, Overton, then Chris Wokes. There won't be any free spaces for Indian batters. Like they had Sam Curran in last two Test matches, but last three Test matches, but they it won't be there in next two Test matches. So they need to be extra cautious. So if they can play at their best, they can beat this England side.
So, Jones, you have covered, I think, all the bases, but the main worry is the collapse that keeps happening again and again and again. I think it's not the first time, and I'm very much sure this is not going to be the last time. I think you have seen all these collapses happening again and again in 1 or 2 years. We have seen what happened during this 2019 World Cup that That one bad hour, we lost the crucial 2019 World Cup semi-final. That again happened in Australia. Once we told Australia that 36 all out. Once it happened again, and one of the main big reason to worry that if you see the second innings of Indian team also, it's not that we have scored a lot of runs. That once we were in a very good position for two, I think the score was 215 for two, and suddenly the collapse again came, and we lost 7 or 8 wickets around 40 runs. So this collapse keep happening again and again.
Yes, it has been the issue for Indian cricket since 2020. If you look at the New Zealand tour, India has collapsed on
Yeah.
this way. So the issue has been the middle order. If you look at the numbers as well, you will get that right answers. Virat Kohli has been going through
Yes.
a rough phase. Everyone goes through that phase at time. As I said, for Rahane, then I think batting has been the major worry for Indian cricket in last 1 or 2 years. If you look at the Australia series as well, there has been match winners. Shubman Gill really played in a few matches. Then Rishabh Pant played that amazing knock. Then there was Washington Sundar, Thakur was there. So there was lots of match winners in Australia. So if they can repeat that, it will be great for in the next two test match, and they can win the series as well. So if you look at the main issue has been the middle order. The runs is not coming from middle order. They need to have that. If India want to be one the best side in the world cricket, and they need to be talked into more generations. This Ajinkya Rahanes or Pujaras need to fire, and there has been good sign as well. It's not that we have only bad signs. The way Rohit Sharma has played in the series, he has batted so well,
Exactly.
and even KL
Exactly.
Rahul has in the first two test matches he batted so well. Even in the third test match as well, he faced 50 odd balls. So there are good signs for Indian cricket as well. It's just a matter of time. Everyone coming in a right way, or almost everyone mixing together. Then India will be start winning again as well. So that's where India need to look at, and section by section. If you look at the second test match, the India won that test match due to that momentum given by Shami and Bumrah. So that section was won by
Exactly.
India. If England would have won that section, maybe India would have been two down in the series. So that's where India need to win that important sections in the test series. England won that important sections in the third test match, so they won the match. So that's where India need to counter punch England in the next two test matches.
Okay, so you have talked about the Rohit Sharma's brilliance, that he has been playing really well in this overseas tour, and he has been scoring a lot of runs in this overseas tours, especially in the England. People have been very criticizing his performance during this overseas tour. That everybody has talked that if Rohit Sharma doesn't succeed, why you want to play him? That if he only succeeds in India. Talking about the Indian cricket again, I just see that. It's not the first if you talked about in the recent the past 1 or 2 years, I just seen that it's all about the top order batsman, like opening batsman. We have seen the how Shubman Gill performed in Australia, Rohit Sharma performed in Australia. Okay, and the lower down the middle order batsman like Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur. Sorry, Lucas, I hope you don't mind. I'm remembering you again this Australian series, and once again that I think Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, all these guys who performed brilliantly in Australia. So it's the main problem is that the middle order batsman is not able to score those big hundreds. Once again, you see, if you see in this England series, the home England. Once I think England toured to India. Once again, Rohit Sharma scored 100. Ravi Chandra Ashwin was scoring 100. I think for that matter, Rishabh Pant was also scoring 100. But the main problem still was that our middle order batsmen like Pujara, the Kohli, the Rahanes were not scoring those big 100, and they were not scoring big hundreds. And it has been a long time since these players scored 100. And the main problem with Ajinkya Rahane is that he's not been consistent.
Yes, if you look at, I think it's a rough patch for Indian middle order, especially Virat Kohli, as I said earlier. Then Rahane has been pretty average since 2016 in Test cricket. Apart from that West Indies series, then he performed well in South Africa home series as well. He has done well in few series, but the consistency has been really less. Then even though Pujara has faced more deliveries, he need to score that big hundreds. If you look at his last 100 came in 2019 against Australia. So it has been 2 or more years. India has been missing that big hundreds from their middle order. So that's where India need to capitalize and get that momentum. They have a test series against New Zealand at home conditions, so they need to get that momentum. Especially they will be touring South Africa as well. So two important series and two test matches coming up. So the right time to convert, especially India will be going through that transition phase as well after 1 or 2 years. So it's almost that end of the like Pujaras or Rahanas, etc. Kohli will be playing another 4 or 5 years, but these guys maybe there might be end of the road in this cycle or the starting of next cycle. So it's important for them to capitalize these chances and create big hundreds.
Okay, so what's the problem? Do you still go with the Ajinkya Rahane? Do you still give him the more? I think the two test matches are left. So you give him two more test matches? Will you give two more test matches to Cheteshwar Pujara and then look after? I think Pujara has made his mark on the third test match. He played really well on the third test match, and he deserves this two more opportunity to play. But the problem with Ajinkya Rahane is playing at number five and has been not been consistent for a very long period of time.
Yes, I don't think team management will be moving away very soon. Especially as you said, Pujara has earned that spot in the last two Test matches. The performance he has done,
Yes.
he'll be playing that number three spot. I don't think they'll be dropping Rahane. Especially we have seen the press conference of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. Everyone has been
Yes.
backing Rahane a lot. So they'll be looking at this series, how he performs in the next two test matches. It will be crucial for him, especially there is Bihari, Shubman Gill will be coming. Then there is Mayank Agarwal as well. Then Suryakumar Yadav is there, so there are lots of options for them. So pressure will be hunting Rahane right now. So they'll be giving two more test matches. I don't think they'll be making any changes in the batting order right now. Maybe in the New Zealand home series, the changes might be coming in the bowling unit. I don't think they'll be changing in the batting unit in the next two test matches.
Lucas, you want to ask something?
Just reading the comment section, very humorous there.
Yeah.
I wanna actually go back to that, Benny. What Gaurav said about India's low scores. Now in Australia they got 37. In
Yes.
England in the I think it was the second innings where they got sorry the first innings of the third Test match where they only made 78. And
Yes.
the second innings of that same Test match where after Kohli and Pujara steadied the ship, they batted
Yes.
really well on day two. And then day three, it collapsed again. Do you think this is a mental problem with this team?
I don't think mental problems there, but the issue has been if you look at the first day, it was almost a bad shot. If you look at most of the wickets has been gifted to England bowlers. They bowled really well. They put India under the pressure, but almost all most of the wickets has been gifted to England bowlers. And if you look at the day four collapse, England bowlers really bowled really well. And if you look at the bowling unit, if you look at they have Overton, they have Robinson, they have James Anderson. The pressure from these bowlers is immense, and Indian batting unit is going through a tough time as well. So if there is one wicket or two wicket or in between 2 or 3 overs, then there will be under lots of pressure, and it is happening in this tour as well. India was lucky, or the way Mohammad Shami and Bumrah played in the fifth day of the Lord's Test match. That was the important section. India won, and India won that Test match. So there was momentum for Indian team. And if you look at this third Test match, the momentum was full in the hands of England, and that made the Test match more easier for England to win without much fight from Indian team.
Okay,
Uh,
Lucas, go ahead.
yeah. Um, Another one. We see with India's performances, these collapses still continue to happen. Is it is it you just say, what, we build the whole team, the whole middle order, or do you just say, all right, let's not panic? Even though it has happened three times, it's not happening every innings. Do you say, when do you pull the plug and say, no, we got to go with a whole new middle order, we got to go with a new top order, or do you just say, these things happen in Test match cricket? It can get to you, like you said, the pressure is big. What would you do moving forward if this continues to happen?
If you look at in the last tour, Indian openers hasn't been that great in the 2018 England tour. But coming to 2021, Indian openers has been doing well. So it has been a consistency issue. And Indian, as I said earlier, the middle order is going through a rough patch. Virat Kohli, we all know what he has done to Indian cricket and world cricket. Everyone goes through these tough phases. Even the greats like Sachin Tendulkar or anyone has gone through these phases. So Virat Kohli has the time to pick up. We know Virat Kohli can come back as well, and he has played few innings as well. It's not that Virat Kohli is getting out for 20s or 30s every time. He scored two 50s against England at home. Then he scored a 15 at late Test match. He scored a 15 the third Test match as well in the second innings. So Virat Kohli has been scoring the runs. It's not that it's the issue has been not making the big hundreds like Joe Root has made in this series. So then Pujara, we have seen he has done well in the last two Test matches, and Rahane has been the as I said earlier the issue. He will be performing in one or two innings, and he will be going through that dip of form like he has been doing in last 3 4 years. That's where India need to put more cautious or need to convey the message to Rahana what he should be doing as a number five. So he need to be more consistent. If Rahana can be more consistent, that makes this batting order more deadly. Especially the way Rohit Sharma has been batting, he has been playing that new ball spell like 15 overs or 20 overs. It's a guarantee for Indian cricket right now. Rohit Sharma will be playing that 15 to 20 overs. It's if you look at the 2018 series, Virat Kohli will be coming at 10 for 2 in fifth over or sixth over. But right now, Virat Kohli is coming at 20th or 25th over. So there is a change. So if everyone can get right, the once these rough patches move away, we'll be seeing that 350s or 400 or 450s almost every innings in Indian cricket.
And the most inconsistent one you've mentioned is Rahane. Who would you bring in for Rahane if this continues? Would you go to the more experienced Vihari, or would you bring in a young player like Sky? What would you do in that situation?
There are few names. There is Vihari is there. Shubman Gill is there. Especially if KL Rahul has sealed this opening spot. He had Mayank Agarwal as a backup. Then there is Prithvi Shah as a backup. So I would draft Shubman Gill into the middle order, into the middle order scheme of things. So Shubman Gill is there. Vihari is there. I don't think Sky is coming into the ranks, especially Sky made into the team mainly because Iyer was injured and India needed extra or precaution like due to this COVID times, you can't get a batsman. So I don't think Sky will be getting an opportunity. But right now there is Vihari, then there is Shubman Gill, then maybe a year in the future, maybe after 1 or 2 years. So right now is between Shubman Gill versus Vihari. And I think Vihari has an upper hand mainly due to the performance in England, Australia with the middle order. So right now I will be drafting if this Rahana going through a tough pace, then Vihari can play in the New Zealand home series. On moving forward or future after 3 4 or 5 years, then I will be drafting Shubman Gill into the middle order.
Okay. So I have a discussion. I have a question on what you call it, the bowling department. been a lot of talking going around that you need to go for a 3-2 option, the three fast bowler and two spinner in this England pitches, or will you go with 4-1 option?
If you look at the fourth test match, the pitch or mostly favors spinners. We have seen in past as well. We don't know the England conditions going to be. If it is overcast conditions, India might prefer again this or more for seam attack and plus Jadeja. But I still believe Ashwin deserves an opportunity and
Yes.
he should replace
Yes.
Ishan Sharma. Ishan Sharma has been on a poor note. If you look at in the third test match, he hasn't been at his best.
Yes.
So we can rest. We can't drop anyone. If you look at even we can't drop Ravichandran Ashwin. So that's where this Indian cricket in bold department stands out. We have got lots of replacements. It's not that we are dropping anyone. We have Bumrah, we have Shami, we have Siraj. There is Thakur, is there Ishan Sharma, is there Ravichandran Ashwin, is there Jadeja, is there Umesh Yadav, is there. So it's almost eight bowlers are there. Then there is Akshay Patel is there. So almost eight nine bowlers
Yes.
or all rounders are there. So someone should be sitting out. So I think Ashwin deserves an opportunity in the next test match ahead of Ishan Sharma. So India can go with Siraj, Bumrah, then Shami, Ashwin, and Jadeja as the five bowlers, and Jadeja as an all-rounder as well. So this will be my attack. And if they need to rest someone like Siraj or Shami or Bumrah, looking at the workload, especially IPL coming, T20 World Cup coming. So maybe Umesh Yadav might get an opportunity or Thakur might get an opportunity. If Thakur plays, their batting will be strengthened as well in the lower order. So India has that options as well if they are looking to rest someone like Bumrah or Siraj or Shami.
Okay.
What's the update on Jadeja? I think he's gone for some of the scans. So will he be available? I think there is a lot of time during this fourth test match. So what's the update on Jadeja? And if Jadeja can't be fit, will you include a bowler like Akshar Patel? Because we have seen what he has done in this home series once England was touring to India. I know it was a ranked turn-up pitches, but I think he should be utilized in this condition. And if he's not fit, then Jadeja has not been fit for the fourth test. You should bring Akshar Patel and you should play Ravichandran Ashwin. So you should go with the 3-2 combination.
Uh, so far, no update on Jadeja. If you look at yesterday, the update came. It was just a precaution. Just to look at his knee, something. He was slightly injured during the second day while fielding. So I don't think it's a major issue for. It's a major issue for Indian team. He'll be fit for the next Test match. So I don't think that's a bigger issue for India. He'll be returning and he'll be playing in the fourth test match.
I think there is a volume issues. I think from John's side. Lucas, are you hearing you properly?
A little bit of an issue, but I can hear him just.
Yes. Okay. So you have told me that you will go with the 3-2 combination in for the next test match, right, Johns?
Yes, I'll be going with the same bowling unit. I'm
Yeah.
not saying
Sorry, I didn't heard you properly, Johns. I think the video got freezed.
Yeah.
Johns, you are audible. Am I
I
audible to you
think
right now?
I think Benny's having problems.
Yes.
can I hear you?
You can rejoin. I think Johns, you can rejoin if you're facing some of the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will take
Okay.
here from guys. Lots of people are asking that question, but guys, please ask questions related on cricket.
Yes, I
I
can
can't
hear.
take questions other than that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, we got
Johns.
Benny back now. We got Benny back now.
Yeah, Johns. So am I audible right now?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear.
Yes, it is much better now. So, moving towards once you're looking to the fourth test match, I think England hasn't announced his team. England played remarkably well in this third test match. They have got their issues solved recently, that their top order batsman has been firing at the likes of Hasib Hamid and David Malan have been performing very well. I think Rory Burns scored some of the runs, and Joe Root has been quite remarkable. It's unstoppable. I don't know why he's not saving some runs for the Ashes also. He's been scoring remarkably well. But looking at the England bowling attack, I think if Chris Stokes make to this fourth team for the fourth test. So, do you see Sam Curran will be out of this test match for the fourth test match because he hasn't done too well considering what he's capable of through the bat and with the ball also?
Yes, I think Sam Curran will be making his way. If you look at his performance in recent times, in the last two, three test matches, he hasn't been bowling at his best. So Chris Woakes will be taking his place. I think that will be the change will be happening in the England side. And there are newses that this Josh Butler might not be available as well. So
Yes.
for Josh Butler, Bairstow might be keeping for England. Then for Josh Butler, someone like Oli Pop will be coming into the playing 11 for England. So these two changes England might make. And I don't know whether they are going to rush someone like James Anderson, especially Mark Wood is almost fit and available. So if they need to rush someone like or Oli Robinson or James Anderson, especially they have played three consecutive test matches, almost bowling near to 80 or 100 overs, if I'm right. I don't know the exact overs. So maybe looking at the workload management, they might look to rust as well. So it's not confirmed, but as if now there will be two changes. Chris Fox in place of Sam Curran and Josh Oli Pop in place of Josh Butler.
Just give
Okay.
the one answer. Atul Baral has asked to you the prediction for the India versus England fourth test.
It's tough to predict. It all depends on the that what happens in the toss and what is the conditions. Who are going to play as well. We don't know. The As I said earlier, the workload management will be big factor. After three test matches, someone need to have some rest. So it all depends on the combinations and how well each team plays on that day. We never expected England to come back like this after the
Yes.
humiliation in Lord's Test match. The way they came back and bundled India for 78 on day one, it was remarkable. So it's really unpredictable to tell.
Okay.
Uh, I'll read some of the comments in below. Atul Burrow said, "Is Lucas sleeping right now?" Shivam
I
said,
think it's
"Oh,
not. It's not
yeah,
important, Lucas. Forget about it.
yeah, yeah,
John's moving towards this. I think you have talked about that. I think Josh Butler might be taking some of the leaves for the rest of the series. So you see, Johnny Bairstow hasn't lived up to his expectation. I think he hasn't performed that much. Whether I think as England people were expecting from him.
If you look at Johnny Bairstow, he hasn't played much Test cricket at home conditions. He used to play. He played in Sri Lanka two Test matches, and he played in India as well one or two Test matches. So at home conditions, he was never a number one pick at number five, especially after Oli Pop was in fit, then Ben Stokes was in available. So that was the reason why Johnny Bairstow got that opportunity, and Ben Fox as well got injured. So they need
Yes.
that second wicket keeper. So Johnny Bairstow got that call, and no one are expecting or anyone expecting Johnny Bairstow to score big hundreds. If you look at his career performance as well, he has been a pretty average Test player. He has done well in Asian conditions, but at home conditions, he wasn't that great player. So these 30s and 40s are more valuable, especially we are not going to have 500 or 600 every time in England conditions. these 30s and 40s can make a big difference. So Besto has done well. They might be hoping a 70s or 80s very soon for Besto.
Okay, Shivam Shukla asked a question on cricket related topics. We will definitely take your question. I can't take a question on the Javo 69, whatever he is. I won't be able to ask this question to John Spenny. So,
Well, yeah,
Lucas,
yeah,
you have any
yeah,
question yeah, go ahead.
yeah. He actually did ask. Maran Ali is bad, but why is Punt unable to hit him sixes? Just to lead up to that question, what has been the problem with Richard Punt? His form hasn't been really
Yes.
great this series. He wasn't great in the Test World Championship. Fantastic in Australia, but since Australia, his form has really declined. Um, is it the pressure? Is it probably wicket keeping over too much wicket keeping? What do you think the problem is there, John?
Uh, if you look at his wicket keeping, he has done so well
Yep.
in
Yeah.
this tour. He has been fantastic
Yeah,
behind the
absolutely.
stumps. In batting, I don't think there is much issues. If you look at the fifth or fourth stump line has been hurting him badly. If you look at Oli Robinson has that mental advantage over Rishabh Pant that might be affecting him badly in this series. It happens to any player.
Yeah.
We have seen Rishabh Pant's heroics, especially in Oval. In the last 2018 tour, he scored 100. So he'll be going to his favorite ground in the next Test match. So hopefully
Okay.
a very good run coming from him very soon.
Okay.
And earlier in the show, you mentioned that Rahane, Pujara, Kohli, they're not getting any younger. They're closer to the end of the career than the start. When once Kohli is done and Pujara and Rahane are done, around at about the same age, who do you think will be the captain in the future? Who do you see that has good leadership, that's good tactics on the field, and can really inspire this team like Virat Kohli does? Who do you see as the next future captain of India?
Uh, it's tough to tell a name of the captain. There will be transition period. Gill will be coming. Rishabh Pant is there. Iyer might be coming. So there are few names. Even KL Rahul as well. If he can seal the spot, he is a contender for
Yes.
captaincy. So it's really tough to predict. If you look at the 2010, 2011, everyone knew that Virat Kohli will be the next captain once
Yep.
Dhoni retires. But right now, it's tough to tell who will be the next Indian captain. There are lots of names. It all depends on how they how they do well in next 2 3 years. Once Virat Kohli is coming to his end or almost 35, 36. So it all depends on the performance in next 2 years.
Okay.
Speaking, of Kohli, Pujara, and Sharma, um, oh sorry, Ishan Sharma. I said on the show yesterday that should some of these players, like the Kohlis, the Ishant Sharmas, should they give up IPL and T20 to extend their Test career for longevity purposes?
If you look at Pujara hasn't played much IPL. Even Rahane as well. Last time he got an opportunity mainly because Iyer got injured, so Rahane got his opportunity. So it's not that they're playing every match. They might be picked by few franchises. They are not getting lots of games. It's only Virat Kohli who has been playing. As I said earlier, it's a rough patch. Every great player goes through these rough patches, and Virat Kohli is going through similar one. So we don't need to think more about it. He has been scoring runs as well. As I said, it's just a matter of converting that 50s into big hundreds.
Okay, guys. Moving towards the final segment of our show, I think it's time to talk something about IPL also, the rescheduled IPL. I know Lucas will not be liking it about T20 cricket, but we need to ask some of the questions during the T20 cricket also. So Johns, I think the rescheduled IPL. Once I see all these teams for the first time. RCB looking that they have covered all the spaces, and they are the main contenders for the IPL 2021, the rescheduled IPL, because they got this Hasaranga in place of Adam Zampa. They got Dushmant Shamira, who can bowl fast. Okay, and I think they have got Team David in place of Finn Allen, and one player, I think his name is George, got in place of Kane Richardson. So I think they have covered all the bases.
Yes. If you look at, they have done so well, especially in the auction. They have been doing so well. Especially they have brought in this Hasaranga, who has been a real sensation in last few
Yes.
years. So then Chamir is there. They have increased the pace attack. Then Tim David is there, who has been doing so well as a player in different leagues. Then George Cartoon is there, who has been doing really well in England domestic cricket. So they have got replacements, but we can't say they are favorites, especially Hasaranga and Chamira won't be available in the playoff stages. So it will be a
Playoffs,
big worry
yes.
for RCB, but they are really well on path to make it to the playoff. They'll be one of the contenders. I still believe Mumbai Indians are the hot favorites to win the title in this year as well, and making third consecutive title, because their team is so strong. They have everything covered. It's just a matter of time. Everyone coming good and performing on that big stage.
Okay, and seeing the, I think the most of, if you see the, I think the team of Rajasthan Royals, they will face a lot of problem because Josh Butler will not be available, Ben Stokes will not be available, and I think Jofra Archer will also not be available. So they will
No.
face a lot of problem during this time. The reschedule happened, and I think they have announced the availability of Glenn Phillips. I think who can bat during this opening slot also, and he can bat in the middle order also. And they have picked up Rich Shamsi also, who's the number one T20 spinner. So, what do you think of Rajasthan Royals squad?
Rajasthan Royals, if you look at, the main issue has been England players are not coming. So
Yes.
that might be a big worry, and they don't have Jofra Archer as well. So it will be a big issue for them to cover. But you need to have, Chris Morris has been doing well in leagues, so there is a positive for them. And I don't know whether Shamsi will be getting an opportunity, especially there is Fis from Bangladesh. So it will be between
Yes.
Shamsi versus him to the fourth spot for the overseas. So it all depends on how what they need in these conditions and how pitches are going to behave. So it will be tough for Rajasthan, but they have played well in the first leg with lots of injuries. So it all depends on that day whether Livingston can perform, or Sanju Samson or Glenn Phillips can perform.
Okay, and the
Uh,
final question on yeah, on Pat Cummins, because Pat Cummins will not be playing this rescheduled IPL, and I think Kolkata has announced that Team Saudi will be playing in place of him. So I think that means I think the New Zealand fast bowler, I'm forgetting his name,
Lockie Ferguson.
Lockie Ferguson will be playing in place of him. So how much bigger setback is this for Kolkata Knight Riders, considering they are they are bottom of the table in this IPL right now, in this year IPL right now?
I don't think there is much hope for Kolkata. I don't know. I don't
Yes.
think they'll be making into the playoffs. So it will be tough for Kolkata. It's just whether they can finish at number six or number five or number seven. That's the only question for Kolkata Knight Riders in the UAE edition. So it will be tough for Kolkata to make a comeback and make into the playoff.
Before
what
we wrap
what
this show, I think there is a question from Shivam Shukla. Just read it, Lucas, if you can read. Come on, dude. No one ever can give up an IPL nowadays. A player give up their country to play IPL. What's your thought on this, Johns?
I don't think that's a bigger issue. Everyone needs money now. Once you retire at
Yes.
35, 36, cricket won't be saving you. You need to have money. And another reason is that World Cup will be happening in UAE. So you
Yes.
need to have that conditions will be similar. So most of them are preferring international cricket over IPL. It's not that every time they are preferring IPL. Mainly because there are few reasons. World Cup is one reason, then that big money, no one will be saying no to that. So you need to
Everyone has
consider
to pay
these
their
things.
bills. Everyone has to pay their bills.
Yeah,
Okay, no.
Yes.
I've actually got a question about the IPL. Can't believe I just said that. Um, where do you still see David Warner at Sunrise Hyderabad next season? He was dropped from the team for the couple of matches that the IPL was there before it got broke up due to COVID. Where do you see David Warner's future at the Sunrise Hyderabad?
uh, it's tough to tell what is David Warner going to do. We don't know whether Warner will be playing in UA edition as well. Especially they have given the captaincy to Kane Williamson, so it will be between a all-rounder versus David Warner. It all depends on the flexibility they needs. I really hope David Warner plays because he deserves to play
Yeah,
that edition, because he has done lots of very good things for Sunrisers. Hopefully, a
yeah.
few games or a farewell if they need to move away from David Warner in IPL 2022.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
thank
agree with
you.
that. David Warner is one of the best players in the IPL. With all due
Yes.
respect, even though I don't like the IPL, but I'll give credit where credit's due. His IPL is right up there as probably the best batsman. He's statistically very good in that department. I'll give David Warner credit on in that department.
Okay, Lucas, I think it's time to wrap the show. Final prediction, Johns, before you go. Harsh Singh has asked to you. John, please answer who is winning this series, India versus England. Final question. Just predict one
Uh,
thing.
it's tough to predict. It all, as I said earlier, it all depends on how well India going to play on day one, how well they are going to play against these fast bowlers. There will be James Anderson, Overton, Robinson, Chris Wokes. It won't be easy for Indian team. It all depends on how well they are going to perform on that day.
And
Yes.
one quick final question from me. What did you think of the Pakistan West Indies series? I thought that was a very good series, even though it was only a two test match series. Could have went either way, in my opinion. What did you think of that test match? Or that test series?
It was a fantastic series, especially the first test match.
Yeah,
Almost it was 3 a.m. In India, and most of them was watching. Kimar Roj played really well in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Everyone was expecting a close series, especially
Mm.
two teams had that fragile batting unit and very good bowling unit as well. So it was going to be very close, and we have seen some entertaining cricket. And Pakistan has got a very important win as well in the WTC. Especially they'll be playing not a great sides in the next two away series. So they, if they can win a few matches there and dominate at home, we might see a Pakistan versus India final, or India versus New Zealand final again. It all depends on how well Pakistan going to play in the home season.
Thank you, John. It was a lovely talking to you again. Hope we will do this again after India winning this series for a very long period of time after the 2007 series. So, till then, John, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure talking with you. Hope you have enjoyed the show.
Thanks a lot for inviting me into this show as well.
Thank you, Benny.
So, so, guys, do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, guys. Till then, we will meet tomorrow. Good night. Take care, and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you, guys.